Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration, explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What is on your mind, Cayman? If you are ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Here's your host, Sterling Dwayne Ebanks.
Hey, welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. And as we invite you to be a part of today's talk today, we are reminding you, if you didn't get it all, you got it, you want to go back and revisit, our YouTube is there to watch Mr. Orrich's For the Record show this morning. So make a note, perhaps later on, to do that as well. Also, open line, it looks like until 1 o'clock, and then our friends at Rotary Central will join us and talk about the upcoming free health screening event. And then 1:30, hey, some more open line, looks like. So stay tuned for Talk Today.
Talk Today is reminding you.
Avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
Email Talk Today at candw.ky. Let your voice be heard.
And now, back to Sterling Dwayne Ebanks, Radio Cayman Talk Today.
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And invite you to be a part of our discussion. 949-8037, 949-6990. Do you want to share your thoughts? Is there something particular that you want to discuss? Is there a question that you want asked, an answer you're diligently seeking? Well, let's see if we can put it on the table and see who else is willing to share. 949-8037, 949-8037, 949-6990 is the other number that you can call and share your thoughts. Of course, the toll-free line is available to you if you choose, 1-800-534-8255, and then you can WhatsApp call 925-3261. We don't have to talk about politics, but we can if you wish. We can talk about the things that are affected by politics and to, which politics impact and affect. And not always in a positive or timely manner, but it happens. I want to read something, if I can, a poem that was circulated by, I think everybody by now saw it in some sphere. And when I did the other evening, I thought, not only it shows the talent of many to be able to capture the essence of what is happening in the moment, but to present it in a way that may cause many, if they are willing, to sit and reflect. I shared in the vein of all that has been happening globally, but in particular locally. And I shared it as a backdrop to, we have an incoming WhatsApp call, we'll take that, but to the backdrop to some of our own local music. The Under Martin song, again, has been gaining some airplay recently. And you'll see how the threads are being connected and woven. But let's take this call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Good afternoon, Dwayne, and good afternoon to your listeners.
And to you, a wonderful good afternoon. Yes.
Well, I know that we don't have to talk about politics, but during this season, with nomination,
what else is there to talk about?
Day, it is a legitimate thing to talk about, but of course, you want to make sure that your listeners can call about anything that they want.
Of course.
Now, Dwayne, there are some times when an event happens. It's an event that we can all, I suppose, commend and say it's good and so on.
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes you need to hear both sides. I want to comment actually about the appointment of Chief Justice Smelly to the Privy Council. Now, it is always, you don't want to put a damp on a good thing. Overall, that's a good thing for Cayman, but it's in the nature of public service that at the end of the day, there has to always be an assessment of what your legacy is. Every legacy has got something good and bad, and and people can make assessments as to what is the net legacy that this person leaves. And I just wanted to touch on the other side of it. Everybody has praised, and I'm not saying that those who have praised, there's anything wrong with that. In fact, a lot of it is right, but I just want to give the other side. Mm-hmm. First of all, something which has gone totally undiscussed in relation to the Privy Council and the Court of Appeal is that judges of the Privy Council, some judges of the Privy Council also sit on the Court of Appeal in the Cayman Islands, like they are appointed substantively to both positions. So you will get, Chief Justice Mary will be one of those people who will both sit in the Court of Appeal and sit in the Privy Council. Now, that obviously is a conflict. So the way they deal with it is that if you sit on a particular case in the Court of Appeal, when it comes up in the Privy Council, naturally you do not sit. But my problem is that structurally it is still a problem. Because when you appeal a case from the Court of Appeal to the Privy Council, you are basically trying to get a new set of judges to give the case perhaps a different perspective. That's what you're trying to do. Right. And I think that is somewhat undermined when one of your colleagues who is in the Privy Council is part of the three judges who decide the case in the Court of Appeal. And then that case comes before you. You will always look at it differently. You will always say, well, this is coming from one of our substantive colleagues. And I think that is not good for those people who appeal those cases. And I must emphasize that this is not just in the case of Chief Justice Smelly. This is also the case with some UK judges. Some of those who sit in Cayman, they also sit in the Privy Council. There is also, of course, some people who have been appointed also at different times from Jamaica, also from the Eastern Caribbean. I know that at the moment there's a Justice Dame, Janice Pereira, somebody I know fleetingly from way back from the Cayman Islands, who is also on the Privy Council. But that's the first point. But that's the structural point. But the specific things relating to Chief Justice Smelly, some of the things about him which can be said, I think, are negative. And I think we need to point these out so that the new Chief Justice can be challenged. Justice Mangata, you remember she resigned under a cloud of a conviction for drunken driving. Chief Justice Smelly never came out to say, hey, this is not the sort of behavior we expect from judges. If anything, everything from him was praising her. And the people, of course, said, well, oh, okay, you can praise a judge for drunken driving, but the poor people who mow lawns and work at the reception, when they get convicted, you say such negative things about them. That's a double standard. And then you've got, of course, the election cases, the famous election cases, where it was, he ruled basically that a passport is a mere travel document. It does not give any allegiance, which absolutely was nonsense, to be frank, because no Commonwealth decision has ever decided that. Some people in Australia and New Zealand had to recuse themselves from standing for elections merely because they were eligible to British citizenship, not even because they had a passport, but because they were eligible. And I think that he was never able, in a lot of these cases, to divorce himself from the personalities involved around those. And I think that was a sad case, as well as it wound up in a position where a poor couple was found with a debt of was left with a debt of $140,000 in costs and all that. Mm-hmm. That's another one. Another one is, the Constitution allows or it enjoined the the Judicial and Legal Service Commission to draw up rules to ensure that people have got an avenue to complain against judges in case of misconduct. He was a member of that commission for most of the time that he was Chief Justice, and those rules were never drawn up. For 7 years, they never drew up those rules until Ombudsman Sharon Ralston found them guilty of maladministration for failing to do that. And nobody has really been talking about that. It was a major, major failure. It was particularly bad because at the end of 5 years of failing to do those rules, the ombudsman told them, hey, look, you have to do these rules. Again, they took another 2 years. They didn't do the rules until she found them guilty of maladministration. And the same day on which she found them guilty of maladministration, they put out some rushed rules. All that was done under Smelly. Now, let me mention one I was going to mention a little later on. Ask yourself, how many Caymanians have been appointed to be judges in the Grand Court during the time that Smelly was Chief Justice? He was there for something like 25 years. How many? Mm-hmm. Nobody.
Right. But I mean, that would even be across the board, whether in the Grand Court or magistrates or even in the private sector. In many of the law firms, how many have become partners or very senior? So,
it's a broader problem. Yes, right. It's a broader problem. So that, even every time when there's supposed to be a magistrate appointed full time, no, it is a Jamaican, or a British person. In the Grand Court, I mean, he brought his own fellow Jamaicans, Mangatal Jamaican, current Chief Justice Jamaican. There are some other Jamaicans who were already in Cayman. They were also being appointed. I mean, I would have loved it for a part of his legacy to be that when he came into the judiciary, there was no Caymanian, but that he worked hard to bring Caymanians in, and in that area, mm-hmm. It was a total failure. In fact, let me mention one matter. I won't call a name. Right now, they have appointed a new judge from the UK. Mm-hmm. Okay, they've appointed a new judge. Meanwhile, they had a Caymanian who was there in the judiciary for a long time, was in the Attorney General's office for a long time. In my view, this position having opened up at about now, it was logical for her to be elevated to that position. Mm. But what happened was she's actually leaving the judiciary. I don't know what she plans to do. The rumor is that she's going into private practice, but she will just continue being a part-time magistrate. To me, that person was ripe to be a judge, but they've now given it to this person in the UK, and I wouldn't be surprised if maybe that's part of the reason why she has found that there's no future for her in the judiciary. Mm-hmm. And this is a failure of not just Justice Smelly. It is a failure of politics as well, because in politics, they have failed, Dwayne, to set down a rule that says if you are a Caymanian and you qualify for a job, whether it is in the government, in the judiciary, or in the executive, or whatever it is in the legislature, if you qualify, you should be appointed, even if there is a foreign person maybe who is more qualified. But they haven't done that anywhere. Mm. And part of this is a failure of Chief Justice Mary. Another two areas where he failed. I made some FOI requests some time back. I said, how many judges have been complained against? How many lawyers have been complained against? Can you give me a list? Don't give me the details of who they are, but just give me a list. The ombudsman, first of all, they didn't want to give me that information. The ombudsman again told them, no, you have to give them this information. And then it so happened that actually they were not keeping records. It took them 60 days, like they had to get an extension because they had to now go into the files to compile the records because they were not keeping records. All this was happening under Smelly. No records of complaints against judges and lawyers. And when I got the lists, it was also very clear that there was no systematic way of dealing with those complaints. And then judicial review, or I'm now calling you OC.
That's fine. I take your elevation.
You see, if you look at the judicial review, you know that judicial review now is being done secretly. Mm-hmm. Because if you make an application for judicial review, it used to be up to 2019. that became public and people knew exactly what it was. Now it is done secretly. A ruling is made secretly only if a judge gives
leave
authority to say, "I've given you leave." That's when it becomes public. Yeah, that is totally wrong. I mean, I have a judicial review which is now going to the Court of Appeal. Nobody has heard about it except through my cause. Why? Because of that very rule. But the last one was Dwayne.
Yes,
one.
Sir.
In costs. Costs in the Cayman Islands are totally crazy. I think the minimum you pay for a lawyer in Cayman now is about 300 CI minimum for the least experienced lawyer, and then you can pay up to about almost 700 CI per hour per lawyer. But what happens is that if you sue a lawyer, Dwayne, you sue a person on the other side, and then the lawyer on the other side, put it this way. You sue a person, the person hires a lawyer, you don't hire a lawyer. The case ends and you win against a lawyer as a personal litigant. The maximum you can get in costs is $30, $30. But if you lose against a lawyer, even if you yourself never hired a lawyer, you will pay what the other person paid. So you could pay as much as $600, $700 an hour. And yet, so in other words, when I win, I get only to $30. If I lose, I pay $500 or $600. Again, that's a matter which I'm fighting. I have a case right now before Justice Asif because I've challenged the constitutionality of that.
Right.
And all those things are things that they happened during the West Bay Road case. You remember?
Right.
The ladies there were doing something for the public, and yet they wound up with costs. Right. All these things are things that Mr. Smelly failed to do, and I think that it is part of his legacy.
Yeah, there were three.
In my view. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. There were three things I wanted to ask of you. I know we have to break. If you got a minute after, I just wanted to share with you. Would that be fine?
Yeah, I can hold on.
And as you hold on, one of our listeners says that the caller is spot on, and it's amazing under the rights to see how an outsider, quote unquote, can see our judicial system, and we can't, right? So just three quick things. If you were agreeable, I'll join you right after, okay? All right. Thank you so much to our listeners. Stay on and stay tuned.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Did you know that you can send money transfers to financial institutions anywhere in Jamaica with JN Money?
You mean I can send money straight to my account and cut out the middleman?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You send your own money to your own account, giving you peace of mind that the money is in your account.
JN Money Transfers to Financial Institution is another convenient service offered by JN Money. You can have this done from any JN Money location. Deposit your money straight to your account without the hassle of asking someone to do it for you. JN Money transfers to financial institutions, making life easier.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning.
Ouch!
When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back and thanks for joining us. And I know we have another caller on the other line, but on the WhatsApp, as we just quickly continue the conversation. Thank you very much for allowing us to take the break and just to share with you for a minute, all right?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, and thanks again for sharing. I hope people, as they listen to you, may, despite all that is shared, recognize the importance of being able to ventilate in a public forum where others may equally benefit from it, right? Now, one listener, as I share this, writes, yes, unfortunately, our judicial system is a boys' club and also seems to be a Jamaican one at that. Now, I just read it as it was sent, and based on what you shared, a couple of things. You referenced that the ombudsman found him guilty. And I just want to make sure that that's, for my benefit, the right terminology, because we know in civil liable, we know in criminal proceedings, guilty. Just so people can be assured or reminded, or is that the right thing in that instance?
Okay, yes, it's the right thing, and thanks for asking me to clarify that, because it's important.
Mm-hmm.
You see, what happened in this particular case was I complained to the ombudsman to say, look, I want to complain against a judge with the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, but the Judicial and Legal Service Commission has not discharged its duty under the Constitution to draw up the rules which would govern my complaint.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happened was the ombudsman engaged the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, where the Chief Justice and the President of the Court are members. Okay, engaged them and said, well, why haven't you drawn up these rules? It's been 5 years since the Constitution mandated you to do that. So we're talking about 2009 to about 5 years after that. They never did anything about it. And as a result, I filed a formal complaint of maladministration to say that failing to enact these rules was maladministration. So after an investigation, the Ombudsman found the Judicial and Legal Service Commission, which includes the Chief Justice, to be guilty of maladministration. And that's what her decision is here. It was guilt of maladministration under the Complaints Commission law.
Fair enough. And again, respectful to your time to any other callers, the appointment of the Chief Justice in this instance, the then Chief Justice to the Privy Council, is that process not the same irrespective of the appointee or the jurisdiction? So if it was in one of the other overseas territories or the wider Commonwealth, wouldn't the process be the same?
Well, yes, regardless of where you come from within the Commonwealth, yes, the process is the same.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yes, you go through, they've got a commission, and then it has to go to the Lord Chancellor, and that you are formally appointed for.
Right.
That, yes.
And I guess some would, as you shared, you have someone who is already, quote unquote, in the system at a lower court, whether it's a court of appeal or otherwise, and they're elevated to the Privy Council. As we think we've understood what you shared, potentially, they're not only sitting members of the fraternity, but they also could be seen as their colleagues and have to weigh in on a case of a lower court decision that they may be privy to or at least knowledgeable of.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That's a little bit of a problem, and I think they need to deal with that. Yes.
Okay. Wow. And then the last two things. Sorry, go ahead, sir.
Yes. No, sure, no, I'm listening.
Thanks. And in the case of the election where the passport was ruled, I think there are many other legal pundits who share and agree with what your perspective is. But in that instance, in the Cayman context, isn't it our law that there is presently no appeal from the decision of the Grand Court?
Yes, in election cases, yes, there's no appeal from the decision of the Grand Court, but I understand, yes, the recommendations have been made to allow an appeal from decisions of the Grand Court in election matters.
Right.
I think that's a problem. I think that's anybody who has done management, very briefly, if somebody knows that my decision is not going to be reviewed, the quality of decisions goes down and people become more arbitrary in their decisions.
Right.
Yes.
So with that being what it is, again, not in anything other than trying to clarify, in this instance, maybe that's an issue that we have in their system that, as you said, recommendations to make amendments, but they haven't been as yet. So maybe that's a wider picture, right?
Yes, they haven't been made as yet, and I think, in my view, that case that he decided, just Chief Justice Smithy, was a very good example of that, because everybody agreed that decision was wrong, but there's nothing that could be done about it.
And then I guess the final thing is just generally speaking, but whether in the judiciary, government overall, but even politics, whether in the private sector, employees or otherwise, the issue of succession planning comes to mind, and have we done a good job to ensure that we have that in the judiciary, since that's the focus of our conversation, the potential appointment of more Caymanians as magistrates, judges, and the like. So is it not an issue that the country has perhaps facing an indictment and failing to have succession planning?
Yes, and a very quick answer to that, Dwayne, there is need for a policy in a government that, by government I mean broadly, including the judiciary, that if there's a local person who qualifies, they should be appointed. In fact, in the civil service, they need to amend, I think it's section 27 and 41 of the public service management law. They just need to amend it to say that if a person, there's a local person who qualifies, that they should be appointed, rather than them competing with people from outside. That's all. Yeah, and by the way, section regulation 6 as well of the immigration regulations, it needs to say that when you apply for a work permit, you shall provide a succession planning, rather than that you may provide succession planning. Politicians can say all they want about jobs and so on, but unless they go to these pieces of legislation and they actually amend the laws and establish clear policies which will guide even the deputy governor, it is all a waste of time, I'm sorry to say.
Okay. All right. Well, let me just ask. I'm sorry to belabor it, but just for clarity, I think I know the answer, but we'll ask you. In this instance, you're speaking about your cases and they're pending, right? The question is, does that amount to sub judice?
Well, they are sub judice, but you see, that's...
Oh, is that how you say it, sub judice? Okay, thanks. Right.
Yeah, sub judice. Yeah, if you go to South Africa, they say sub judice, but it's because maybe they are closer to Latin than we are. But normally lawyers will refer to it as sub judice, like it's an anglicized pronunciation.
Okay.
Your question was about okay, yeah, no. You see, even if something is sub judice, you can describe what is going on. Because what the Constitution says is that you must never exercise your freedom of speech in such a way as to undermine the independence and authority of the court. Okay, it doesn't say that you can't talk about what's in court. It just says that you should not talk about it in a way that undermines the authority and the independence of the court. That's all. So if you say that this case is going on, it is taking place in the court, this is what has been filed, and this is what is being argued, and these are the issues, there's no problem with that.
Okay.
But if you start criticizing the judge, then that's a problem.
Okay, and if you were a reporter or otherwise, you just relaying, hey, I was in court today, this is what transpired, this witness said that, and if you gave a verbatim account of what happened that day, that's okay.
That's okay. And what is the language used in the Defamation Act is that if you give a fair and accurate report of what is taking place, it's not a problem. Okay. A fair and accurate report.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for that, sir. Always learn something from you. Today is sub judice, how you say it?
Sub judice.
Sub judice. Well, yes. I thank you for the public correction, because lawyers and law professors to this date, the 1 or 2 little classes I took, led me to believe that that's how it was pronounced. So thank you. All right.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Thanks for
Have a good day, sir. All right, quick break, and then take some more calls. Stay tuned.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. Oh, no, don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. Well, I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Cayman Brac and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Attention all residents of Savannah and surrounding areas. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman PACE Committee invites you all to their prostate and colon cancer awareness meeting on Thursday, February 27th at the Savannah United Church, starting at 7 p.m. Guest speakers are Dr. David and Dr. Mubin from Grand Harbor Medical, who will be discussing colon and prostate cancer diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. Men, come out and get your PSA test done for free. Remember, early detection saves lives. Refreshments will be served.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Thank you for joining us, and thanks to Mr. Balika for giving us not only, lessons and how words are said, but the definitions and an explanation. And maybe as part of our civics education, we understand increasingly more about our judicial administration. They say justice delayed is justice denied. We always hear somewhere, a man should not be a judge in his own cause. And perhaps sometimes, whether it's the parent or the principal in the school, whether it's the police officer, the pastor, we don't question because we don't want to be offensive. Perhaps we don't know enough about the scripture to be able to engage in a meaningful way. The police officer who is doing a remarkable job with all that has to transpire in that shift, we don't want to add any more burdens. We certainly don't want to run afoul of the law, but sometimes there might be a question we want to be asked, but we want to do so respectfully. How is that engagement, that power dynamic, playing out in such a way that allows us to exercise what we think should be freedoms to express or to question or to assemble or what have you, and at the same time be a law-abiding citizen? Think about that in our courts. Sometimes that is even more daunting, just physically going inside the court to be a juror or to watch the proceeding for some reason. Let's take this call before we go to the break. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing.
Break? You just took a break.
I know.
Boy, I don't know why I didn't make Jane and about puff out some perfume for you this afternoon. Yesterday, you know, I'm online waiting for over 30 minutes on you.
Wow. Well, I'm told I'm worth the wait.
Really.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to lighten the mood. But thank you for your patience and persistence, okay?
Really.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Do you have any guests coming on?
We have a guest at 1, and then at 1:30 it will be open line again for the rest of the show.
Okay, well, what I have to say now, I have enough time before your news break right now. So
3 minutes away from news, but go right ahead if you wish to call back after 1:30, okay?
3 minutes not gonna solve my problem for Friday gone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll probably try to call back after 1:30.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. And again, we want everybody to have as much opportunity. And sometimes, yes, we could perhaps, lessen it, but would it be right to do it if we don't get the full picture? So, apologies again, but thanks for being so agreeable, and we'll talk to you after 1:30.
You have a good one.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, too. Reasonable people with a willingness to share. Sometimes we can have a meeting of minds, and maybe that's the challenge that we're facing now in the political landscape. The notion that sometimes it's all about political expediency, and that's not just in the elected politics. That may be in our personal lives. But where is humility and integrity and honesty and compassion and consideration? As that wonderful lady just exhibited, she has some things she wants to share. She was very patient and holding on. And some may say, well, the last caller took a bit. I took longer in trying to understand a few of the things. Like me, you may have benefited from it. You may have appreciated it. But like others, you may have thought, oh man, I don't want to hear that anymore. Well, maybe that's the challenge that we're facing. And as we take this news break, when we come back, our friends from Road Central will join us. We'll have that conversation. 1:30, we'll do some more open line again. Here are numbers to call. 949-8037 and 949-6990. Of course, the toll-free line, 1-800-534-8255. Then you can WhatsApp, 925-32621. But as you make a note of those numbers, maybe here's something to consider. Mr. Art, every day, as he opens and closes the show, he reminds us, he asks us, please be courteous and careful and considerate on our roads. Have we seen recently the way we are driving on the roads, our level of impatience and seemingly, inconsideration that potentially could cause great accident and injury to ourselves and to others? Are we watching individuals as they enter roundabouts? They, changing from one lane to the next, not to exit, but to overtake, as it were. And we have to wonder. We're watching people zooming through the parking lots. People not stopping at stop signs nor stop lights. The one or two little four ways that we have, many are not even seeing how to navigate those. First come, first serve. If everybody gets at the same time, one show, then you go in the clockwise direction. But even when people approaching a four-way or a stop sign, they don't stop. That's putting you and others at great risk of accident, injury. We all know this, but what is happening? We can ask, but it's only for us to take on board our individual sense of responsibility and consideration. All right, we're going to pause and we're going to take the break. When we return, we invite you to be a part of our discussion. So please, stay tuned.
Covering Little K-Man, Kim and Brad.
Cover me.
Radio K-Man in the Cayman Islands. From Radio K-Man's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. Deputy Premier, the Honourable Kenneth Bryan, says he's joining up with the People's Progressive Party for the general elections in April. On Radio Cayman's For the Record this morning, Mr. Bryan says he felt it was essential for an experienced team to be in place to make changes needed for the country. In regional news, the first casualty of the Kenyan-led multinational security support mission in Haiti has been hailed a hero by his spokesman Jack Umbaka. The officer, who was injured during an anti-gang operation, succumbed to his injuries after being airlifted to Aspen Level 2 Hospital. Following the officer's shooting, his colleagues pursued and killed a responsible gang member. The United Nations Security Council established the MSS mission in 2023 to combat gang violence and to restore stability in Haiti. The United Nations Immigration and Custom Enforcement Agency has arrested and deported Leroy Neville White, a 30-year-old Jamaican fugitive wanted in Jamaica for shooting with intent. White was handed over to the Jamaican authorities after being convicted in Connecticut for first-degree threatening with hazard to terrorize. ICE emphasized White's significant threat to the public safety and its commitment to removing egregious offenders. That's your latest headlines. I'm Dwayne Ebanks.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Do you have a healthcare question but not sure who to ask? Contact HSA's Patient Call Center to speak to one of our experienced clinical team members. We are here to answer your questions and help guide you through your healthcare journey. Need to make an appointment? Our team can help. Contact HSA at 949-8600 or email info@hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Cayman Brack, candidate for Cayman Brack East, Ruth Bodden, is holding a public meeting tonight, 6:30 p.m. at the Watering Place Gardens. Come hear candidate Ruth Bodden's plans for Cayman Brack East at her public meeting tonight, 6:30 at Watering Place Gardens.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Avernale Zini Foster Scott, 1915 to 2001. Miss Zini was born on Cayman Brack to Captain Birdie and Huldah Foster, the eldest of 7 children. From a young age, she helped her parents rear her younger siblings. In 1933, she married Captain Clyde Scott. Together, Miss Zini and Captain Clyde, along with their 9 children, raised cattle and crops, exported coconuts and thatch rope, owned and operated a general store, gasoline pump, and soft drink bottling plant, and were pioneers in the heavy equipment business, having established Scott Development Company in 1964. Although she had only a primary education, her natural leadership, business acumen, integrity, honesty, and ambition made her one of Cayman Brack's most successful women. Ms. Zina worked in her office and until her early 80s and continued to sign the company's checks until a few weeks before her death. She was recognized by the Cayman Islands Real Estate Brokers Association in 1995 and received the Distinguished Woman Award from the Minister of Women's Affairs in 1999. Shortly before her death, she was awarded the Certificate and Badge of Honor.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back, and thanks for joining us. And to good friends at Rotary Central, appreciate they join us for a couple of minutes, and then we'll go to open line after the break at 5:30. But President Brendan Lee, welcome.
Thank you, Dwayne.
How are you? How are you, man?
I'm great, thanks.
Yeah, there was Bruce Lee, there was Brandon Lee.
Now there's Brendan.
He's like, I knew that joke was coming. But unlike the martial artists, I think we need the martial arts sometimes in order to move forward, and when we can use our medical fraternity to ensure that our health and well-being at the center, we have a stronger, better community. So thanks to you and your wonderful team over at Rotary Central. So welcome.
Thank you, Dwayne.
We see opportunities like health screenings that may cause a few of us to do two things immediately. Actually stop and reflect and go, oh, I should do that. But also a recognition that there are many who may not access these opportunities otherwise. Financial, time constraints, and others. So tell us about the upcoming health fair.
Indeed. So thank you, Dwayne. Once again, we are here to advertise and encourage the public to participate in our 13th island-wide health screening. So we were here late last year, November, where we did a sort of our half-year screening where we only had 2 locations. So this time, our island-wide, we have 5 locations. So we will be at Costulas, A.L. Thompson's, at Foster's Airport, Foster's West Bay, and then Savannah United Church. So this is a free, completely free. That's one of the things that some of the public wanted us to touch on last time.
Yeah.
It is a completely free event, and we will open at 10 a.m. and run through to 2 p.m. And we're encouraging all the members of the public to come out and know your status, basically, around the common health indicators.
Yeah.
So, sorry, no, don't go ahead.
Yeah. As you were sharing, that financial impediment that some may have, that which they may think will qualify if they have the healthcare coverage and haven't been used up. So you're taking away that. But the timing and what in relation to logistics would, the potential sort of screenees, as it were, need. Do they just, as they're about their day, do they need a fast? Do they need to make an appointment? Who's going to be doing it?
Just come out and stop by at the locations I mentioned before. There's no need to fast to come to the health screening. If you do have any of your health notes and books, you can feel free to walk with those. We will have doctors on site. We will have pharmacists. We will have nurses. We will have the technologists who actually do the testing for you. So we have pretty much a full medical team almost out there.
All right. Mr. President, as through you, have you either introduce or
Sure.
invite your other Rotarians to be a part of our discussion?
Right. So this afternoon we have with us Michael Pope, who's the Director of Community Services, and we also have Rotarian Jamelia Budu, who is actually spearheading our health screening activities. She does all of them for us. So I'll pass over to Rotarian Jamelia.
Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Just to speak on what is actually going to happen on the day. So when you come to the health screen, as we said earlier, you do not need to fast. You will be registered. You'll fill out a few forms. This is just for us to get a little background information on you. And as President Brendan said, you can walk with your medical books. You can also walk with your prescription medications and over-the-counter drugs, because we will have pharmacists there who can review what you're taking, see if it's appropriate, and can speak with your physician about it for the future. And when you come after the registration, then you'll proceed to where we'll do the actual finger prick blood test. It's just a small prick on your finger that doesn't hurt. And that that one prick will allow us to know your blood sugar levels, we'll do blood pressure separately, but we'll do your blood sugars, your cholesterol, your iron, your hemoglobin, which will tell us the full history of your blood sugar levels over the past 90 days. And then, if necessary, you'll move on to the physician.
Okay. Now, with that, because some people may think, this is going to be time-consuming, but I'm told that process, if you want a little extended conversation with a physician, you can, or pharmacist, you can have it, but the whole thing can transpire within minutes if it's all goes well.
If all goes well. But it's value for money and value for time, because you're not paying for it, and the time you would need during the week if you have work and such to go and see a doctor and to pay for all these tests, you can get it in a maybe 5 to 10, sometimes 20 minutes, depending on what your needs are at the time.
Mhm.
So it's value for time, especially.
And that, I think, is the most valuable of commodities, how we use our time. With the locations being so convenient, as people are going out and about, in and out of these respective locations, is one thing. But then if people wanted to specifically, because a location is either where they are or near where they live, they bring their medications and they can just make it as part of what they're there, whether it's by deliberate or, hey, this is happening, let me take a couple minutes.
Exactly.
Okay. For that, though, I think, President, you reference, technicians, the physicians, the pharmacists, so on. Sometimes we are conditioned that when we see medical professionals, we do that in a particular setting that offers a level of quote-unquote confidentiality, the consultation room, and even the little fingerprint that doesn't hurt, she says. You're going to hold his rat. But to lay people's affairs, there's still a competence, there's still a confidentiality.
Yes, there's
It's just
absolute
over community
confidentiality.
initiative.
Absolute confidentiality, and for the physicians, we actually have separate screened off areas so that you can have that even further confidence that what you're discussing is private.
Okay. And the examinations are no more than a fingerprint, so to speak. So it's not an issue, not unlike perhaps blood drives of yesteryear where there's an appeal for something and the blood bank is out and about.
Right.
Somewhat similar in a sense.
So on that note, I'm going to stick in a little surprise, I guess, for the island. So we have successfully secured a mobile blood bank unit, which later, probably next month, we're going to donate to the HSA. And that will be able to go out to sites all around the island where persons can then avail themselves of that without having to go down to the Georgetown Hospital. But then going back to just the services that we offer on the day and the locations we chose, we want, first of all, to thank our location. So, as I said, A.L. Thompson's, Costulas, the Fosters Group, as well as Savannah United Church. So, those are areas that people frequent on those days. And that's why we chose them specifically. But we also encourage persons, knowing where they are, make the time. It's very important. Health is wealth. And we really want to encourage, especially our male population, don't just walk by the stations. Avail yourself of the services that we're offering.
Right. And since, this is out, there's no need to be fasting. So
no need to fast.
Right. And is it the A1C? I think is the one you're doing, or?
Yes, we're doing the A1C and the random blood glucose test.
So many of us go to the doctor and we go, well, doing tomorrow, so let me not eat anything sweet today.
Exactly.
This one captures
can't fool the
months.
test. No, you can't fool the test.
All right.
If I may add something as well, in November we focused mainly on diabetes, as we said earlier, and that was the first time we joined with the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, and it was really well attended and well supported, and the partnership was so great that we're partnering again with the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, and they will be at 3 of our 5 locations. They will be at Savannah United Church, they will be at A.L. Thompson's, and at Costulas. And not only will they be giving out free glucometers, that's the machine that we use to measure the blood glucose test, they'll be also handing out free blood pressure machines. Conditions apply. And it goes in tandem with some other books that we'll be handing out for use with those machines for all patients.
Thank you so much for sharing that so early in our discussion, because a good friend lent me a book about partnerships, and whether that's a business, whether that's a marital partnership of sorts, or whether it's a community engagement, to see 2 community groups, Lions in this case, Dog Gardens, and the Rural Central, working together as a community. Many hands can make light work. The joint causes benefit the community, so maybe we can take a page, the collective we, and partner, and ensuring the importance of putting their time, their talent, their treasure in a unified way. So I just want to say thanks. It was very inspiring, and maybe we want to read the book even more.
Sure.
If it can be done, it can be done.
It can be done, indeed.
Shall we bring Mr. Pope, you think?
Indeed. Director Michael.
All right. Welcome, sir.
Welcome. Thank you.
That's okay, man. Don't worry. We're on radio. Don't worry.
All right.
For you, from the perspective of the individual, but also to be part, a member of such a dynamic organization, both locally but globally, to see the impact on our community. Any particular things that appeal to you in this endeavor?
So, what appealed to me is I always like to help individuals,
Mhm.
and I think this health screening is a great way to reach out to the community and let everybody be a part of what we're trying to achieve,
Mhm.
especially when we're coming to health and welfare. So I think that's what people just making sure that everybody is healthy and at least they know for this health screening they know what they need to do from there on out with the results that they get from the health screening.
I believe there are many listeners, Joe. The president shared, health is our wealth.
Yes.
And for some who, for particular reasons, may appreciate the importance of looking after our health, then there are those who maybe we're still invincible. Perhaps we're invisible too, but we think we're invincible.
Yeah.
We don't make time for it. Make that special appeal. I mean, Director of Community Engagement, so worry. Take the time, to 15 minutes, to 5 minutes, to 20, and catch your breath to this. Make that appeal that they see the importance of this, the partnership, but also the presence of the physicians.
Yes, so I would say don't be intimidated by the doctors and don't be fearful. Just come out. It's free of charge. You don't have to pay to do these tests. We're making every effort to make sure that you're comfortable, and we have doctors there to speak to you about your wellness. Even if the results, some results will be good, some results will be not so good. As I said before, at least you know what you need to do to improve your health, because life is so funny that one day you're well today and the next day you're not too well, or you fall sick. So it's good to not put it off and know what's happening today, and then tomorrow you can know like how to move and what to take or what not.
Mr. Miller, with that you shared, was just not value for money, value for time. Michael just referenced and reminded us the importance that time is of the essence, and if you are timely, maybe this screening for many would be the difference between ignoring something that the day after, a year after. How they did it today will make a difference in a positive way.
That is true. Time waits on no man, indeed.
Just women.
But I would encourage, even if you have been to our health screens before, come back. Yeah. Because the situation could have changed from November, from the last time we had it in March. Anything could have happened. Just come back, get your values done again, and just see if you are either keeping well or getting better. Because we do actually have persons who come year after year just to see if they're okay.
And that's a good point, Mr. President. Now, from that perspective, Mr. John or Miss Mary might come in and they were there previous times. They probably would know, but is there a way of, as they would when they go to their normal physician, of tracking them, or how does that work?
So every health screening, we give each attendee a book or card that we encourage them to keep and actually bring back with them. So that way that we can, if they actually bring it back, we'll be able to sort of follow up on what happened the last time.
Thanks for that, because I understood that to be the case, and it's not unlike the immunization record that many of us used to have. And some of us, we have it from the time we were children.
Yes.
Some of us kind of figure what we did with the thing we had in our hand 5 minutes ago, but different story. So if they have that, bring that with them.
Indeed.
Bring their medications.
So and in the past, we've actually had persons who've come with it.
Yeah.
So it's very encouraging, as Rotarian Jamila pointed out. Yeah. There are some persons who make use of this every single time we do it, whether it's the half year, the full year. For the 13 years we've been doing it, we have people who show up, and we really encourage you to continue to do that.
Yeah. And I asked that, and I'm glad that you were able to share that, because that individual, very much like tracking a business over a period of time.
Performance, yeah.
3 years ago, your blood pressure was this on this date, or your blood sugar, or whichever. Where is it now? And then the physician looking at it can help you to paint a picture. Maybe you've had it for the 13 years since.
Yeah.
So bring it with us.
Yes, indeed. Please do.
All right. What else do we need to bring? Bring our medications, bring that booklet if we have. Perhaps bring somebody else along.
Yeah, bring your family.
It's free.
Wives, bring your husbands. Don't leave the men out, please.
No, men can drive. You can stay in the car, but
don't stay in the parking lot. Come out.
All right. No, but I want us to appreciate how we take so much for granted, yet we have so much that's available to us. And there are many who may not be, in their minds, adequately insured, who may have already used up that wellness check that is in their policy, or who may not even realize that it is there. But this is a complement, and it's no different than what they would get with a regular appointment at their GP. The only thing, a little bit more efficient, a little bit more convenient, because it's probably where they are.
Yes.
From that, with the partnership, you referenced the HSA. I commend again the partnership with the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, but the phenomenal team at HSA, the 1,000+ strong employees across all divides, they give tirelessly, as do many in our medical fraternity, but they give. So,
yes.
How did that partnership? Tell us about it.
So we really do want to thank all of our collaborators. And yes, we have various physicians, nurses, pharmacists from HSA, but we also have from the private sector as well. So basically all of the medical fraternity on the island are contributing to this effort. So we really do want to thank them. And what happens is organic. So one colleague tells another colleague, this is what I did. I said, oh, well, next day I want to take part. So it's really been a very fulfilling experience because it's free. You get to engage with the community directly. Some of the specialists, some of the physicians we have actually specialists, so they don't normally get to do this. So this is sort of a break from their regular activities. So it really is an enjoyable experience for the attendees as well as the medical fraternity when they come out.
Right. And Mr. Miller, from that perspective, by being in such a small community, chances are either A, we'll recognize the personnel there, the pharmacist, the physician, the technician. It could even be the person that we have seen in the past. So that level of sort of reassurance, oh, this is Dr. So-and-so, this is makes it accessible but also personable.
Yeah. And we also have volunteers who come back every year. And if you're coming and seeing the same people, you know you're getting the same level of service, and you can speak with them in confidence. These are all registered medical practitioners here in the Cayman Islands, and we have a duty to serve. And these are people who willingly give up their time because they enjoy what they do.
So we're not paying them either, so they are volunteering as well. So it's completely free.
And it's happening, you said, on the 1st of March?
1st of March, 10 to 2 p.m.
That's this Saturday.
This coming Saturday.
Yeah. Thanks. I mean, today's Monday, and I don't know about some people, but January was a long year. So thanks for laughing. Good. And February is already gone.
It's gone already.
So this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yes.
And you reference the locations.
Yes. So Costulus, A.L. Thompson's, Foster's West Bay, Foster's Airport, and Savannah United Church.
All right. Now, Mr. Pope, from that perspective, I'm looking at the locations, and I can see why it would be called island-wide, so that those individuals in the eastern districts may find, the Savannah United Church to be accessible. But many come into town, so whether they're at A.L. Thompson's or Costulus, whether they're at Foster's Airport, or they may be visiting family at, the Foster's West Bay. But for the other people who started the traffic, oh man, I don't want to deal with that. There's always an impediment. You're the man to ensure that we community-minded and come out and benefit from this free event.
So as Jamila mentioned, time is important. So here you have you're getting a free service. So I think sitting in traffic for like a little half an hour or so, it will result in a betterment, because you're in traffic, yes, but then you come in and get free. You getting to test your blood sugar, getting the test, run all the tests, you're getting to find out what needs to be done. You're getting to talk to a doctor who will guide you on how to get better. You're getting to talk to a pharmacist who will recommend the correct dosage for you. So I think being in traffic for a little while, it wouldn't hurt to come out, because it'll be beneficial to your health and well-being.
Well, I think in traffic in that time, Radio Cayman has excellent programming to keep you company, right? So, Ms. Badu, from that perspective, as your fellow Rotarian shared, you meet with the physician or the pharmacist. You just want your medications reviewed because you forgot, or you just want to make sure your next visit, or you're getting the test, the harmless, non-painful finger prick.
Correct.
Which finger are you using?
Index, usually.
Index? Which hand?
Pointer finger.
Pointer finger?
Yes.
Okay, we can use her. You can use it. Are the results then and there?
They're instant in about a few minutes.
Okay. Wait a minute. Instant or in a few minutes? Okay.
Instant is like 5 minutes. But you're getting about 3 or 4 results in one.
Okay.
So that's where we
I need to clarify this. Instantness is about 5 minutes. Instant was instant, right? So if tourist company trees a crowd, in the vein of what you just said, instant is in 5 minutes, right?
Yes.
Tourist company trees a crowd. What's 4 and 5?
No idea.
9. See, we need to teach better math in school. No more jokes today. No more attempt at jokes. No, it is almost instantaneous.
Yes.
And it's worth it.
It's most definitely worth it.
I had a friend share earlier that you always put off going to the physician because it's only when there is a problem. And a friend, dragged him along. He went and got a test. Thankfully, it wasn't anything, but had he not done it then, it could have been something. And thankfully, by all of that normal Saturday running up and down and rushing and all of the week, sort of brought his table. It elevated his blood pressure, which actually helped, apparently from what I understand. So we never know, as Mr. Jimmy shared. This might be the thing that gives you a better quality of life.
Indeed.
And, mitigates something more urgent and life-threatening the next day or the next year, if you catch it now. Time is of the essence, right?
Time is of the essence.
Yeah, I think we have
knowledge is
ambulance
power.
on standby too. We have ambulance something on standby.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No? Okay.
So, but knowledge is power indeed.
Yeah.
Often we worry because we know we're not feeling well, but we don't want to find out what's wrong because we think that there's going to be something terrible and catastrophic. But often, many of the issues we face in the Caribbean, many of the issues we face here in Cayman are preventable, manageable conditions. Most of them are lifestyle changes that are necessary. So by finding out early, then you can change your lifestyle a little bit earlier and have a better lifelong trajectory.
They're borrowing from the Lions Club talking about early detection saves lives. That's with anything. That prevention.
Prevention is an ounce of prevention worth a pound of cure. So.
Well, in today's world, an ounce of prevention is probably a ton of cure.
Indeed.
You never get that. Well, as we wrap up our discussion, again, public thanks for that collaborative effort with the Lions Club Top Gardens, the medical fraternity, including our own, health services authority, showing that collaboration can bring that much better when the community benefits. So, Michael, to you, you get the first sort of the words, and then what do you want to share as you invite and remind people to come out on the 1st of March?
Just want to say, just show up, we're there to help you. So, and we're like a family, just making sure that your well-being is okay. So, just come out and be comfortable doing it. Don't be frightened. Don't be fearful. Don't be frightened of the little needle. Just
the little needle.
Just come out, do your test, and see what you're gonna do after that. In terms of what, just come out and do your test, and then later on you can find out what you need to do to be better or whatnot. It's good to know than to not know. Knowledge is important.
Be well by being informed, right?
Yep.
Spadu, what words you may want to leave your listeners?
To add to Michael, don't just come out early. The earlier the better, and bring a friend. We'll see you on Saturday.
Or bring your family. As many people as you want, you can bring. We're looking to from 10 to 2 p.m. we will see everybody that shows up. So please do come out. We just want to again thank our sponsors. Thank Radio Cayman. Thank you, Dwayne, for having us on always. I will stick in a little plug for one of our other upcoming activities, Science Fair. So Rotary Science Fair, if you go online at rotarysciencefair.ky, you can register. Parents out there, when your children come home this evening, ask them, have they registered for the Science Fair? All schools have been notified. You can register online. But again, I'd like to thank our other locations. So A.L. Thompson's, Costulas, the Fosters, West Bay, Fosters, Airport, and Savannah United. So you have a range of places to go. Most of these have been chosen because during your normal Saturday activities, you'll end up at one of these. So please do look out for us. You'll see banners, you'll see people. Stop by, make use of this service. You could save a life. That life could be yours.
Indeed. Well, thank you all very much. And thanks to you, Spadu, in particular, for reaching out and coordinating. Always a pleasure to help facilitate. And hopefully the community will benefit seeing the need as it is, our health is in our wealth, right? Our wealth is our health.
Yes.
All right, we're going to pause and take a break, and when we return, well, we'll remind you of what's happening. If I can encourage Michael to stay with the sing. No, just kidding. He's going to go back to work. So I've heard, man. We'll see what we can do. All right, stay tuned for Talk Today.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. But I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board a uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Hey, Bill, glad to see you back in the office. Who? Bill.
Oh, sorry. I think you're mistaking me for someone else.
Tom.
Nope.
Jack.
No.
Alex.
No. Want me to just tell you?
Nope, I got this, George.
No, you don't. Still not me.
Adam.
Not even close, man.
We're like a coworker that didn't forget your name. CG Britke. Good like that.
Okay, good to see you, Mike Johnson.
It's Mordecai.
Candidate for Cayman Brac East, Ruth Borden, will be holding a public meeting tonight, 6:30 p.m. at the Watering Place Gardens. Come hear candidate Ruth Borden's plans for Cayman Brac East at her public meeting tonight, 6:30 at Watering Place Gardens.
Now, more than ever, supporting your immune system is crucial to helping your body fight off illnesses like the common cold, the flu, and COVID-19. At Valley Med Pharmacy on Walker's Road and in Buttontown, we carry all the essential vitamins and minerals to help support your immune system and improve your overall health. Some of our top immunity support picks are vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc, elderberry, and quercetin are the popular 7-in-1 immunity support. Our pharmacists are always on hand to help guide you and answer any questions. Visit Valley Med Pharmacy on Walker's Road or Buttontown. Live happy, live healthy with Valley Med Pharmacy.
Attention all residents of Savannah and surrounding areas. The Lions Club of Grand Cayman PACE Committee invites you all to their prostate and colon cancer awareness meeting on Thursday, February 27th at the Savannah United Church, starting at 7 p.m. Guest speakers are Dr. David and Dr. Mubin from Grand Harbor Medical, who will be discussing colon and prostate cancer diagnosis, treatment, and prevention. Men, come out and get your PSA test done for free. Remember, early detection saves lives. Refreshments will be served.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. It's Open Line, and as we thank the partnership, the Lions Club of Tropical Gardens, together with the Rotary Central service clubs for coming together and doing annual island-wide health screening in partnership with the medical fraternity, in particular the HSA. We see they have something on offer again this coming Saturday, the 1st of March, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Hey, avail yourself of this free event. Well, it is Open Line. Do you want to call and share your thoughts with us? Is there a comment or question that you want to ask? Well, let's be a part of it. Now, I had shared at the outset of this program an endeavor to read a poem that has been circulated much. When I first saw it, this is credited to anonymously, written by a native Caymanian on the 20th of February 2025. And today is the 24th. And I'm glad to have seen it shortly thereafter, as many of you have. And whether you're a student of poetry, whether you're a social commentator, whether you just happen to be thankfully alive and breathing, you recognize how increasingly things are unfolding globally. And whether it's under the guise of politicians trying to shape the direction of their country, considering the finances of past administrations, or whether they're trying to cement their own legacy. Things don't always go the way historians, when they review it, as intended by those who in the moment were proposing. But there's no question that it seems in my mind that there's a powder keg, and the country needs to carefully consider what is happening so that we build greater unity. And I share that with you because it's laid heavily on my heart the importance of doing that. And the political posturing aside, we can't be expedient nor convenient. Sometimes, like Scripture says, we need to get out of our comfort zone. Let me see if I can read this for us. Tell me what you think. You've heard it before. If you have it in hand, read it along. Don my spectacles if I can. Let me see if I can figure out how to get this on as well. I'm still not comfortable wearing the two together. It's entitled Chains Unbound. It says, we tick their boxes and play by their rules, yet still they cast us out as stupid fools. They hold us back, they keep us low, then wonder why resentment grow. Why must we, children of this land, bear the weight of foreign hands? Our home, our soil, our rightful claim, yet still we lose in rigged campaigns. I sought a place where I thought I could rise, invested years, stood bold and wise. I gave my all, I learned, I stayed, yet doors stayed shut, no keys, no way. You lacked the experience, they coldly said, but with each harsh word my inner fire was fed. I pressed on hard, my eyes on the prize, seeking that one chance to prove my worth and rise. Yet still in the shadows I was left to stay, but hope's soft whisper promised a brighter day. At times I dream my path runs free, unshaped by hands that hinder me. Yet unseen faces stole my course, denied my growth, suppressed my force. Blacklisted, silence, cast aside, before my journey could begin its stride. Not to divide, but please tell me why their friends succeed, their own rise high. They come, they take and decide what's fair, while we're mocked for daring to seek our share. When we rise and fiercely demand our seat at the table, we're proudly manned. They shout, "Came mankind," as if to say, "Know your place, be still, and obey." And there go our cries, kept at bay. No second flag, no foreign shore. We built this country, its heart, its core. Our roots run deep, our names stand tall. But who will heed to our desperate call? One by one they shut the door, yet soon I'll own the very floor. The walls, the roof, forever mine, a destiny that they'll never get to define. So mark my words and don't forget, no chains can hold and no locks can set. No silenced voice, no dream will fade, for the light will rise where the shadows once laid. It was penned, they said, anonymously by a native Caymanian on the February 20th. Read that, and it resonates with many. I say this to you, and if you can accuse me of being political, well then please do so, because I think this time that this country recognizes that we are in a growing space. Every election is important. This one more so than the last, and the one after even of greater import, simply because the country is being increasingly divided from the party system to what we see in our churches, our homes, our schools. Those who have a level of academic qualifications, those who may have some financial wherewithal, from the ethnicity or nationality, the color of skin, things that never seem to have been, but for some reason more and more we find ourselves being beaten and bombarded. I'm grateful to the many who not just call me friend, but allow me to do the same, who are not initially from the shore, but have a great love for this country and its people. And through them, you get to appreciate what has been transpiring. Look at the behaviors on the roads. Look at the way we are acting, and ask ourselves, why? It's difficult, and increasingly as the days go by, not to sit and wonder why, not to ask of ourselves any more than our parents have given. But why not? All right. 949-8037, 949-6990. WhatsApp call 925-3261. What do you want to talk about? Oh, I'm hoping that the experiences of this year alone, and that the words, as I attempted to try to read as penned by that anonymous author, doesn't inflame, doesn't infuriate, doesn't incite, but what it will do is inspire and recognize the importance of working together. Let's take the call after this break. Stay tuned for Talk Today.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just a delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Attention Cayman! Transform your kitchen for less with Granite Express, Cayman's big clearance sale. Until February 28th, get huge discounts on granite and quartz kitchen countertops. Plus, refresh your space with our cabinet respray services for as low as $3,950. If you only want a countertop, prices start at $2,150. Don't miss this limited time offer. Visit Granite Express Cayman today or call 922-0424 for a free estimate. That's 922-0424. Granite Express. Quality stone. Unbeatable prices.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for the opportunity to host. And as we go to the phones, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Good afternoon, Sterling. How are you doing?
I'm well. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, I just heard you in there talking to yourself, so I decided to call you.
They say it's okay to talk to yourself, you just shouldn't answer.
Just never answer yourself. That way you know you're in trouble. No, I was listening to the morning show with Mr. Oric Connor and Kenneth Bryan when he came on earlier to announce that he's running with the PPM. And certainly, I didn't get an opportunity to call then, but because he wasn't really on that long, and I didn't get a chance to call in. But I heard him say one or two things that I just want to, reiterate that I was just a little confused by it. And saying that you can't accomplish, you can get more done if you're working with a team, and you can do certain things if you're in this group and whatnot. And I still don't believe anyone who has actually ran for politics under the independent banner. Maybe they have, or they just haven't demonstrated, and none of their actions have actually illustrated that they understand the definition of independent. And I think that they probably need to take another read at it, and then if they need to get some consultant to help them comprehend it, maybe they need to do that too. But, if you choose to run with a party, you do so. But don't lambast the very system that made you who you are, because he said he won't get more done. But last time I checked, when Miss Julie was down in the CARICOM conferences, Kenneth was the acting premier, because he's the deputy premier and he's the minister of tourism. So I'm still trying to figure out what more is what is the more he is referring to? Is that meaning that he wants to be the premier? And that's not. I mean, I'm not saying that that's something he shouldn't be inspiring to. I'm just simply saying is that you are currently in the role of deputy premier, acting premier, and Ms. Julie not here, and you are the current minister of tourism. Mm-hmm. So, if you feel like you haven't maximized the things that you could have done in your capacity as minister and deputy premier, then just illustrate those things and highlight those things. But don't say that your reason for leaving. And remember now, we're not talking about joining a party that it's new and he's excited about new innovative, ways of doing politics. We're talking about a party that rejected him. He was once in, he got rejected, and and don't get me wrong, everybody's subject to change. But how do you spend 15 years building a brand and then change your brand on the drop of a dime in order to subscribe to something? So it leads the public to believe that there must be some other ulterior motive behind it. I'm not saying that there is, I'm just saying is that is a reasonable thought process based on the actions, because if they're saying that running independent is the worst thing for the country and it's a disaster and something that shouldn't take place, I just don't see it, because, Sterling, as far as I know, all of the problems that we faced 20 years ago, we're still facing today. Mm-hmm. So with all of the glamorous party systems that claimed they were the best, because I remember at one point we were trading UDP for PPM like they were trading cards. and I think both parties had merits and both parties had things that we could criticize. Mm-hmm. I think that's a fair comment to make.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, if we're subscribing to either now, saying, "Oh well, I can get part of the system now because I can get more done." Kenneth, you're the deputy premier, and you're the minister of tourism, for goodness sakes. You understand? You should be maximizing whatever ability you had in those two capacities while being in that tender. I'm still yet to find out whether his announcement this morning on Radio Cayman that he's running with the PPM as of now, is he still a member of the minority government? That's a question to be asked. He didn't address that on the show. I mean, I'm assuming that he is. I just want to know, because we're not sure. Did you resign from that party because now you're running with another party, or are we saying that now PPM have a member of the sitting government?
Yeah, it's interesting as you referenced, and that's I think where not only for us as a country to be more invested but educated about the political systems, with the House being where it's at in short order, nominations, weekends. To what extent is the function of the country? So your question probably should not be rhetorical,
I mean, I understand that they can argue, oh, well, it's only a week left in this, whatever. But, Sterling, there's a lot that can be done in a week. Not saying that, that there's something critical is going to happen, but, timing is everything. And for the life of me, I'm just trying to figure out, because the last time, he claimed that this is a cohesive, well-established party. But the last time I checked, there are only 2 incumbents running from this party. The rest of them has resigned or claimed that they won't be they won't be running for re-election. You know, Mr. McLaughlin, Mr. Cocornell, Mr. White, and
Miss Barbara
and Miss Barbara Conley. They all made it. They've all resigned on the floor. They all said that they would be resigning. So I don't understand how Mr. Bryan can say that this is one of the most organized parties in Cayman when they only got 2 members and they had 4 leaderships over the last many years. Because he also criticized that in the independent coalition government there was too much lead changes and walking across. But the same thing happening with the parties. So, I mean, I'm not here championing either system, whether it be party or independent. You know, I strongly believe that at the end of the day, we're all Caymanians, and I would want to believe that we're all looking for the best for Cayman. Now, not many of us prioritize that, and not many of us go about it the way that we think it should be going about. But I don't think that anybody that's elected would go out to maliciously conspire against sinking Cayman. I don't believe that, right? But what I do know is that plenty of them got their priorities screwed up. I can tell you that much. And there's a lot of self-serving activity going on because moving to the PPM at this point in his political career, which is at the plateau, in my opinion, doesn't sound like that's something for the people. That sounds like that's something for Kenneth. Like this is all about him and what he wants. And I guess on election day the polls will reflect on how the people feel about this particular move. I mean that's all I can imagine. And then he made some insinuations. He alluded to the fact that there were other members of that same government that were planning on walking across or making announcements. So I don't know. I mean, I know I do have my suspicions, is what I should say. Right? I can't definitively say anything. But what I can say here right now is that, you know, I urge any other member that is thinking about doing that to please rethink that and give that a little bit more thought. Because the last thing this country needs right now, 2 months before the next general election, is to see people moving themselves from the position that they are at their peak in for political sovereignty and mileage at the expense of the voters of this country. Because, you know, contrary to all of the back and forth and the disagreements and the tug of war that we're having as Caymanians in politics, we have to all agree that we got to do what's best for Cayman on a whole. And whereas we can point our finger at many things that we don't agree with or we agree with, but when we elect these persons to run our country, these are the people that we need to hold accountable. And I don't know if I have enough confidence in people who up and quit as ministers, people who change their political priorities at the 11th hour, and persons who are not loyal. You know, Kenneth said something very critical. He said, "Oh well, I'm loyal," and I know that I had a conversation with Mr. Ebanks from Northside, the minister from Northside, this morning, and he told me that Kenneth called him last night and said, "Oh, he want to tell him out of loyalty that he gonna be doing this tomorrow." How you gonna tell somebody that you're gonna be disloyal, but telling them that action is loyal? I just don't understand the oxymoronic approach for half of these politicians to think that the Caymanian people are going to sit in the grandstands and watch them play political football with our grandchildren in the future. You know, I'm quite honestly tired of that sort of behavior from persons who think that they can't be held accountable. You know, it's just frustrating. So these are the sort of uncertainties that these type of actions leave the general public in. You know, the single member constituency is the worst thing ever happened to these islands. You hear what I tell you? Because we were already mentally segregated and now we're physically segregated. And it's becoming very apparent that we can't work together. Even if we're siblings, we can't work together, for goodness sakes. Anyway, I think I've said enough. You all have a good day.
Hey, thank you for sharing that. And as we look at some of the other comments, but we'll take this other call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, hello.
Good afternoon to you.
And to you, sir. How are you?
Yes. Yeah, that's fine, thank you. I know a lot can be said and a lot will be said about elections. I understand what Mr. Mario is saying here. We have to understand that all the elected representatives are still members of parliament until after election day. They're still there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On election day. Yes, sir.
So it doesn't matter if they say they're going to go with this, it would mean they're going to go with this party for the future. For the future. For the future. Make no mistake about it. The Westminster system is a party system. Party system. That's how it works. We see the mother country, if you want to call that, Great Britain. It's always been a party system. And nearly every country in the world is a party system. Because you can't get nothing on your own. You will have to join up with a group if you get elected, whether you're independent or whatever you choose to be. That is how it will be. And politics really hasn't changed. It's been very adversarial and they dig up dirt on you. I can tell anyone, even Mr. Jim Borden, my cousin, he often would resort to those dirty tactics also. So no one can tell me about it. Been running, talking with them on campaign and from 1970. With this is what we can expect, that people will align themselves with a party, and a party that's strong and has been resilient and holding themselves together and forming a proper party. So Mr. Warren did it, Connolly, those many years ago, and so was Mr. Orman involved in the same party, and so forth, so on. And there was barbs thrown back and forth, and there were lawsuits back and forth, and all that. And people would put up a cow or bull and say, if you vote for me, this is yours after election day, and so forth, so on. And that's how it was done in the bar room. One side would be grabbing your hands from one end of the bar, and the other side would be grabbing the same person's hand, the other end of the bar, and so. And that was how it was. It always was. Probably still the same if you think about it. But people will make up their minds and decide what they want. We can't all believe that people are stupid, not going to, not just going to be, dazzled and so forth. And if we think that way, then we wouldn't bother to hold elections, right? I don't think we can run a country on referendums and so forth. I really think personally that we should let the elected representatives make those decisions. They had the time to do it. It was put before them, and they seem to want to do it. One thing we're going to have to do is address the gambling problem, right? The gambling situation, because we know that people gamble. It's been done. It's been all the while here, and there's millions of dollars a week played on the numbers game. The government can simply do it. They can legalize gambling, legalize a system, and a very simple system. I've explained it before how it can be done, and others know it. They're more technocrats than I am in this system and savvy to it. And it's simple. It can be done that the government gets taxes out of it. It's going to continue forever, right? Because right now we have gambling going on that's been accepted as legal raffles. And it's gambling. No one can say anything else. It is gambling. So we have an illegal system and a legal system operating at the same time. It's like a half-pregnant woman. That can't happen. We know that. So what we're doing, what is it? The people look at it and wonder, what is right? What is wrong? Just make it right. Only people who can make that right are elected representatives. They make the laws, and they can do it. And the same thing with the ganja bit. They make the laws. They can do it. And it's simple, those things to decide. And the peer, both sides were for it. And we know it needs to be done. If you don't want the peer, explain what are you going to do with all the people who will be losing their jobs? Because I can tell anyone that we will not be able to continue with the cruise ship business we are without those piers, whether we get big ships or the same size ships, which are big ships now, whatever.
Yes, sir.
The people are not going to be tendering. They don't want to be tendering, and we're losing a lot because they have to return the boats. We're losing in the shops. We're losing everywhere, the tours right now. And much older people, those who are in the business, know what I'm saying is true. So we just make up our minds. We don't have to be battering and arguing with each other about it. What do you suggest if you don't want piers? What are you going to do with those people? Send people home, provide jobs. What are you going to do? A welfare system? We have no direct income tax. So how are you going to provide a welfare system? All these things we've got to think about. It's serious.
It is. Mr. Wickett, thank you, and with the greatest respect to you. Good place to segue to our news and then continue after.
From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
Good afternoon. With a look at your latest headlines, I'm Dwayne Ebanks. Consolidated Water Company has announced that its subsidiary, Cayman Water Company, has received a new concession from the Cayman Islands government, granting it the exclusive right to produce and supply potable water in Grand Cayman. The company, which operates 3 desalinization plants producing 4 million gallons of water per day, will now negotiate off-reg for a new operating license following regulatory changes in 2018. CEO Rick McTaggart emphasized the importance of the concession in advancing the negotiations and continuing to provide clean water to the island's communities. In regional news, police in Belize reported the discovery of 3 American women born in Morocco found deceased in a hotel over the weekend. The women have been identified as Katura Nakad, Iman Mala, and Wafi LR, who checked into the hotel on the 19th of February. Housekeeping staff discovered the women unresponsive in different locations within the room after multiple failed attempts to reach them. Authorities suspect a possible drug overdose due to vomit and froth found at the women's mouth. There were no signs of forced entry or injuries. Surveillance footage showed the women entering the resort on Thursday without any record of their exit. Investigations are ongoing. In Trinidad, soca artist Sherwin Winchester lost both his parents last weekend but continued his commitments to carnival activities, his publicist has reported. Winchester, a 2-time Road March winner and a 2006 Soca Monarch Clean Sweep champion, hosted and entertained his audience at Addiction, the breakfast all-inclusive in Arima, despite the tragedy. His publicist expressed gratitude to supporters and requested privacy for the family. Trinidad and Tobago's annual carnival will climax with the traditional street dance on the 4th of March. That is your latest headlines. I'm Dwayne Ebanks.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey, welcome back. Thanks for joining us as we go straight to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Hello.
Hey, thanks for getting the time to call back.
Yeah, I want to tell you. I'm not going to call the story. I want to call it bad customer service in the tourism. So I'm going to try to speak what I want to say, and then you can interrupt me, or if you give me enough time to say what I want to say.
You go right ahead. If necessary, I'll ask you for clarification, but I'm listening.
On one day last week, took some visitors to the dolphins, and didn't know that anything had changed down there. So the visitor was going to enter to the door just to watch the dolphins. Didn't want to swim with them, but you could do that, right? You just go and watch, and you don't have to mingle with them unless you want to take a photo out of the water with the dolphin coming up and smacking you on your face. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
That was the option for those that didn't want to go into the water and so forth and so forth. Anyhow, I haven't been out there in a while, and when I tried these visitors down one day last week, I didn't see no sign stating there was a fee to enter to watch the dolphins until the visitors was going through the second door, and they were stopped saying that we have to pay, and I was behind them, and I'm like, whoa, to myself. So I went to the counter and I said, you just told the visitors they have to pay. What changed down here? She said, well, you have to pay $2 per person to go and watch the dolphins now. Before it was free now, Sterling, right?
Uh-huh.
It was free. So now they want the visitors that not going to interact with them to pay $2. So the visitors say that they wasn't going to pay, so we left. Anyhow, goes by there now Friday, and I knew now that you got to pay to see the dolphins, so I told my visitors, you have to pay to see the dolphins. So they say, they'll do it. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, goes in, and they say they decide to take a picture with the dolphin. And the dolphin got this thing down there that whenever taxi drivers bring visitors down there and they take a picture with the dolphin and the dolphin only, they will give the taxi driver a commission of the purchase of the visitor. Okay? Now, the lady said to me, she says, I'm going to take a picture with the dolphin. I said, great. So I had my ID around my neck, and then the bigger one was in the car. So I go to the car to get the other ID. So one of the ladies said, go to the register and she'll give you a copy of the receipt that the woman just purchased to take this picture, okay? Anyhow, was in the water by the other counter, and one lady said that she was outside and she was up there, and I beckoned to her with my hands and stuff and had my ID in my hand, and she said she was coming. So I started like she was just taking her own sweet time that she was coming to me. So when we finally got together, now I said to her, I said, my guests took a photo with the dolphin, and taxi drivers are entitled to a commission. And Sterling, don't get me wrong now, this is not about the commission, it's about the principle of how we were being treated. I am bringing this to you. Mm-hmm. I'm not coming to you about no commission, okay? And she said to me, well, you have to come back by the end of the month. I say, end of the month. And I say, if I don't make it back by the end of the month, can I go according to, if I have to go that way, you understand? I'm not going to just go and make a special trip. She said, well, if you don't come out by the end of the month, then it's your loss. I say, really? So, I said to her, why is this happening the way it's happening? She said, this is just how it is. I said, well, I've been bringing visitors here for a long time. I've been out of it for a while, but I'm back, and I didn't know you all had all these changes here and there. I said, I don't see any signs here stating anything. And I said, you got taxi drivers like myself and many more stopping here every day who don't, even if they're swimming or not swimming, we bring people to your compound to visit the dolphins. And I didn't hear anything being changed down here until when I came here last week that the visitors had to pay $2 per person to enter in to watch the dolphins. She said, well, we don't ask the taxis to promote our business for us. I said, excuse me? I said, excuse me? Promote your business? I said, they promote practically every business on this island. When we got people in our cars, we tell them about our island. And if your business is one our tourism product, I don't see why we can't tell them about your business. In other words, now she's getting on the next side now telling me that they now access to promote their business and they don't have to pay me if they don't want to pay me. You understand the mentality that she was coming across with to me? So she would have given me her mouth in with attitude. I said, let me tell you something. I'm going to go to my guests. They're down by the dolphin now. I'm going to go to my guests right now, my visitors right now. And because she said to me, she said, Ella, you guys get a commission. I said, yes. So I say, you know what? I'm going to go to my people and tell them to cancel your photo for your dolphin show and tell right now. And when I went to the visitors, then we was talking, and I told him what took place. He said, "You got to be kidding." I said, "It's not the $2 you know. It's the principle." She said, "Of course." So we went inside, and the lady picked her picture, and the girl came up now behind me, said about you have any change? You could change this and give me $1 back. And I'm like, whoa, really? Huh? I couldn't get it until the end of the month. And if I don't come at the end of the month, I lose out. So now the lady took a picture off the screen, and when the picture came back, I didn't see the picture until we got into the car, and she showed it to me. They used to do 8 by 10, I think it was, for $25 right? And they're giving you commission off of that. Now they're going to 5 by 7 and charging $30 for the photo, and it's not an upright photo. It's I don't know what we call it, left, right, or cross, or
the landscape as opposed to portrait. Yeah. Just crossways the landscape instead of portrait.
Yes.
Okay.
And they do the photo now in a different position, different cut, in a different size, but the price going to $30. You know, so you see, when we out here criticizing our taxi drivers and so forth, we need to criticize these business people that has no customer service and don't know how to treat and talk to the taxi drivers when we bring people to them for free, picture or no picture. We don't go and ask them for anything. We advertise their business, even if we just drop them to the beach. We are giving them some history on this island. You understand? And they see going to go into this big establishment, and this little woman that can speak very little English. But you know what happened, Sterling? She thought that one of them little prom taxi drivers are going to walk away, and then had my words with her. And I kept that a professional way that when I got through with her, she had to come to me and ask me if I had change to give me back for what she had to give me. And like I say, it wasn't about the $2. It is a customer service and the principle of treating everybody on a decent level. And it should have signs up around there stating that it has been a charge to enter in there. And the fee for the photo price has dropped, that they give the commission to you off. You understand? They drop the amount of commission they give you. Like I told her, I said, let me tell you something. If you want to be like this, I can be worse, because I can tell my visitors, we don't go into Dolphin because the reputation there is not the greatest. And if she want me to do that, they better mess with me, because I will do it. I will do it. So I just want to run that across to you to make you know that these places is just messing up this Cayman product that we so-called ours to show and tell to our visitors. Instead, in the hurtful part about the situation, every taxi driver that do tour, they got a flyer stating the places that they go and travel to, what it costs and what doesn't cost, right? We know Turtle Farm cost to enter in there. We knew we could take visitors to the Dolphins and go through the door, the second door, and they can see for free. They go and charge $2. That's okay. But it should be some sign up there. It should be I even asked her. I said, did you all notify the taxi drivers that come in here on a daily basis what changes you all have made? Well, so-and-so know about it. I said, well, I'm not that so-and-so.
Yeah, well.
I know.
Hopefully.
So let me blow my mouth off.
Thank you.
Good.
Have a wonderful afternoon all the same, okay?
You too. All righty, good.
Thanks. All right, final break, I think. Wow, from Monday. January came and went. February is on its heels. Let's take this break and see what you want to say after we return.
Did you know ordering your favorite sandwich from Subway just got easier? Yeah, picture this. No more waiting in line. No more fussing with cash. Just the delicious taste of Subway at your fingertips. With our new app, ordering your go-to sub is as easy as a few taps on your phone. Plus, receive exclusive deals and earn loyalty points with every purchase made on the app. Download the new Subway app today and get ready to ditch the lines and drive straight into your flavor. Visit the App Store or Google Play Store on your mobile phone and search for Subway Cayman Islands. Subway. Eat fresh.
Easter vacation is just around the corner, and Cayman Airways has added multiple extra flights to some of your favorite destinations, some of mine too. Look here, they got seats available now for booking on extra Easter flights between Grand Cayman and Kingston, La Ceiba, Miami, Cayman Brac, Little Cayman, and you can even catch a non-stop flight to Montego Bay for Easter. Check it out. You can visit CaymanAirways.com, contact a local travel agent, or call Cayman Airways Reservations on 949-2311. And don't wait too long though, because these extra Easter seats always sell fast. Be sure to add your Sir Turtle Rewards number to your booking so you can earn more miles for more free trips this year. But I know where I'm going. I'll see you on board our uniquely Caymanian airline for Easter.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers of a planned traffic disruption on Austin Connolly Drive on Thursday, 27 February, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 3 p.m. The eastbound lane of Austin Connolly Drive will be occupied during these times, diverting all traffic onto the westbound lane using a portion of the road's shoulder. The Water Authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter will be taking appointments
February 22nd to the 28th
at his Crew Road Clinic. Appointment slots are limited whether you're seeking advanced skin care, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles. Dr. Wayne Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com. That's drporterkman@gmail.com. Call 946-9020 to book your appointment today. That's 946-9020.
The Water Authority of Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers of a planned service interruption in Cayman Brac on Thursday, the 27th of February. The interruption, which will impact the entire Cayman Brac water distribution system, both north and south coast, will take place from midnight to 4 a.m. to facilitate equipment maintenance. The Water Authority apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause and appreciates the public's understanding.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Hey,
Talk
welcome
today.
back, and thanks very much for joining us as we go straight to the phones. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling. Yes, sir.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Vicker. Thank you, sir.
Yes. Thank you. I didn't know whether I was on or not. Just something I wanted to say.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we were always going to have issues with us going into elections and so forth. So we have to be prepared for this, and we mustn't take it as a sport, so to be. It's a very serious thing. Elections are. But also, we must not let it divide us. We know we're at a period in our history where things, and I've said this before to you. I know sometimes you wouldn't agree with me. I've said that I do not think that 140 nationalities can live in, 78 square miles here. Most of them are here. 100 square miles in total, 110 maybe, if you stretch it out, different, depending on how you look at things. In total harmony, it cannot happen. It will not happen. And don't look for it to happen. There's going to be problems, and we will see it arising, and so forth. And we've got a serious crime issue on our hands right now. We've got to learn to deal with that and get more serious about those things. But what I was going to ask is this. When was the last time that Cayman experienced what you're calling a tsunami? The old timers, we always called it a tidal wave, as far as I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that the same thing?
Could be. I mean,
heard the name tsunami, that terminology, in the last 25, 30 years. I never heard it before. I have to admit that. Right? We called it a tidal wave. I heard my father, captain, and others, old mariners talking about tidal wave. But when was the last time that Cayman experienced any such thing in any kind of seriousness? We have dated things. We have all those things collated from hurricanes. We have recorded records of those things from the 1830s. It's well documented and so forth for me, but I've never heard of any tidal wave. Have you? Or any tsunami being recorded of any significance? The 4 or 5 inches that came upon us after that one, when was it? Just a couple of years ago. When we had that bad earthquake near to us where everybody felt it. And I don't remember when exactly was that.
The earthquake of 2020 or just the other day?
The one, wasn't it? 2022 or 20. Yeah. Yes, I'm not sure, but it was only 4 or 5 inches difference, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Certain parts island. But when did we ever hear of Cayman experiencing anything, say even a foot higher in tide? When was the last recorded report of that? 1800s, 1700s, 1900s. Do we have anything tabulated? Do we have anything recorded? I don't think so. I don't know. I've never heard of it, and that should be there with hazard management. They should be able to tell us that. So why not concentrate on the things that we know that happened and have affected us, the hurricanes, and get the hurricane shelters in proper condition for every district. Get them right, get them built on stilts and elevated and so forth. And if we're talking about tidal waves and the tsunamis, get the government to mandate that certain high buildings will be able to take people, because we have no high ground here saying move to high ground. What higher ground? Most people are almost just a little bit above sea level here, or some are below, and some are a few feet above, and etc. and so forth, forth. That is, it's ludicrous saying move to higher ground, and something can happen in 2 hours. So they say. But let us prepare for the things that are certain and spend money on what's the things that have happened to us, and we know the consequences, and we know that we should have those things properly ready for people, the hurricane shelters at the right heights above sea level and so forth, because the waves will be coming in. Those are tidal waves with the high tide from the hurricanes and so forth. But those are things that we expect, and those are things that are forecast days and weeks before, sometimes before And it happens. So we know earthquakes are instantaneous things. Instantaneous. And we live in a world that's filled with uncertainty. So these things can happen. But for us to be panicking people about a tsunami, when can they say that the last time that any tsunami of significance ever occurred in Cayman? I would like to know. And I believe others would like to know also. So my thing is concentrate on the things that are important and the seriousness of them, and get those things ready. And another thing we need to do is have lifeguards on our beaches. We have very expensive hotels and condos and stuff like that, and multi-billionaires on the beach. They can be taxed to provide these things. They can be asked to provide it and mandated to provide these. They don't have to have one every 100 feet or so forth, but it should be done. It should be done that we have lifeguards out there to assist people when we have seen so many deaths and near deaths happen with people snorkeling, elderly people, etc., and that's our business. So let us concentrate on those things. That's my thoughts for today.
Always appreciate you taking time, sir. Thank you. All the best, Mr. Mickey. He's willing to share. Perhaps you can draw courage and do likewise. Perhaps the final call. Hey, welcome. Thanks for calling.
Mr. Dwayne.
Hey, how are you?
I made it.
You made it. And listen, I'm glad that you did. And listen, thank you too, for sharing as you did.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. But how much people you heard today calling about what happened on the Newlands bypass?
Not just today, but even in the days following up to, right? But a lot of other commentary other places.
You don't think that look kind of bad, though?
Why do you think people are not calling? I mean, they're taking to other avenues to express themselves.
I wonder what it could be. I wonder if that they're afraid of all that money that Cybertruck guy got.
Well, it could be many things, but could it also be that as a people, we either not quite confident in how to express ourselves publicly, so we are inclined to remain somewhat anonymous, and you, for example, calling publicly to say maybe our mindsets are now that we can write it somehow, share it in a vein where it doesn't reflect so easily on us. Now there are others who, when they post, may be aware that the media that they're using to post it on, however they are sort of tagged and titled on their own account, also shows up. So who knows, huh?
Or what you think it could prove what I say from a long time that they Caymanians don't like each other, much less Cayman elders don't like the youth. They would defend the Cybertruckers.
As I listen to you, here's something that I tried to say, and I refrain somewhat. And in reading the poem that was circulated and listening to Anna Martin's song, I think it's quite evident that things are now coming to the fore where, on a personal level, I'm fearful that we will do something that I cautioned many years ago. We're very passive people. We need to be more assertive as individuals, asking for things, but we cannot move to a space of aggression, and that is unfortunately what may be happening, right? And if we're not careful, we will risk not just our livelihood, but the quality of life and our safety. And certainly agree, disagree as you so choose, but weigh in with your opinion. I think in the absence of effective, assertive, vigilant leadership from the home, from the politician, from the direction of the police officer who says, okay, hang on, traffic's at a standstill, going to move this around, to the instruction from that teacher, from the classroom, from the pastor, so to speak. And all of that collectively, I think, is suspect and is subject to challenge and should be questioned because we're lacking meaningful leadership. What do you think?
Say it any better. You're correct. You're totally correct. And the one thing I kind of understanding is we should be grateful to be getting treated like that. That's true. We should be grateful that these people come and bring this investment, and we should just take the loss of our pride and our rights to self-defend ourselves because of these people living a life they couldn't live where they come from. But yet they bring some investment to us, and we should be thankful. We should be grateful. That's true. We shouldn't bite the hand that supposedly feeds us, right? Mm-hmm. We should take the licks, and we should take it and show our mankind that, yes, I am ready to take a beating for any type of dollars, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you think that's how we should go?
It's
Not you personally, Mr.
No, I hear you, man. I hear you. And as I listen to you, I think, unfortunately, again, the lack of public discussion of certain things, the potential seeming unwillingness to do so out of maybe a condition acknowledgement that to question publicly, it would seem that you are insolent. But again, if we look at some of the things that have been transpiring, maybe the absence of good examples, the lack of sort of fortitude in some of us, we got to be careful. That gene is coming out of the bottle, and it's not going to be easy to put it back in. Yeah. But it doesn't have to come out.
Yeah, Mr. Dwayne, I'm not calling for like we got riot or go on bad. You
I hear you.
Me say that. I'm not into that.
That's not who we are.
No, I'm not into that. But hold on now. I got every right, and so does that youth, to defend himself.
Right.
And if somebody thinks that we are not allowed to have self-defense, and we must just stay mankind, then I'm sorry. That's a dream. That's a fantasy.
But being kind doesn't mean that you don't speak out, stand up. It is something that I think we've allowed ourselves to somehow believe. We've been told from early, from the Sabbath school, Sunday school, the church school, the home school, the classroom. Hey, listen, man, you don't stand for something, you fall for anything else.
No, Mrs. V, I'm not saying anything wrong with changing our mankind ways. I'm not saying anything.
I hear you.
I'm not saying something wrong with that. I just telling you, say, people from outside believe mankind mean a passiveness, like, that we are, like, subordinate, like, ignorant. We don't have no idea. That's what I think the outside world thinks when they hear mankind. It's not, and it don't really mean mankind, like, I'm kind to you, It's a man, like, mankind, like, mankind. Yeah, that's what it is, and this is a type of life, type of way we live in here. And I know back in your days, not calling you old, I know you're not old. I know that.
I hear you, man.
But I know you know the stories back in them days when everybody used to get together around here on these islands and have a real good time.
Yeah,
and I'm not talking like,
I hear you, man. I know what you mean.
Getting swanky.
Cook up a little fish tea.
Yeah.
I hear you, man.
It could have been just reading the Bible together. It could have been just going jumping the sea together.
Yeah.
But we don't got that no more because we got certain big-head people and bad-mind people around us that are trying to divide and conquer us.
Yeah.
And I got to leave you with that, Mr. Dwayne. Don't get any more older.
Well, I pray. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I love the way you say things, and I admire and respect you, man. So stay true. All right, bro?
Cool.
And as I listen to him, my prayer, as I tell a good friend, hopefully once I'll be able to reunite again, that I'd like to see 120, not on the odometer, but in the years to come. And as much as Sparrow reminds us age is a number, it's about living in this land without slumber. And as we think about where we go, we have to be reminded of whence we come. increasingly difficult not to be cognizant of what is and do nothing. And not who we are. All right, have a good afternoon. If you didn't catch Mr. Art's show, for the record, go back to our YouTube and have a listen. Join him again, but be ready to be part of the buzz in the morning. Come back for Talk Today after the midday news. Time is nigh. Until tomorrow, be blessed.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.